I got the EBT, I got the WIC, okay? We got the Medicaid. Hello, welcome to my 1010 season. My name is Snow Jones, and on this channel, I produce content that's gonna help encourage, inspire, and hopefully motivate you to live life to the fullest in whatever season it is that you are in. Okay, so as the title suggests, in today's video, we're going to be talking about being ashamed of the season that you're in. Now, when God gave me this channel to do, I was close to the end of my pregnancy. What God does is sometimes he'll give you little bits and pieces. And so he gave me little bits and pieces, and I was like, okay, I look forward to doing that. That's something that I like to do. And so when I started the channel, I was doing, I literally just started this channel, so there's not much content on here yet. But I was doing things like, basically styling things that were already in my closet, and doing, clearance haul. I want to show people that you don't have to spend a lot of money to get nice looks and things like that. You don't have to be like all these influencers that are buying these luxury items. Whatever season you're in, financially, you can still look good. I do apologize if you hear a lot of noise outside. I do live by a busy street, so I really do apologize about that. But anyway, so that you can, dress nice in whatever season you're in, you can look stylish and all of that good stuff. And while that's good and while that's part of the channel, as time went on, God began to reveal to me some things that he wanted to do, like what he wanted this channel for. And I kind of had a bit of pushback because I was still struggling with being ashamed of what God wanted me to kind of talk about on this channel, because I'm still going through it. And so I was like, God, I don't know if I want to do that. But I know that, with everything that God asks us to do, it's for purpose. And a lot of times it's not about us. All the time, it's not about us. It's about somebody else. And so if it's going to help somebody else, I'm going to do it. My 1010 season, the 1010 is from the scripture, John 10:10, where it says that Christ came to give us life. Some versions say more abundantly, some say to the full. And so basically we're supposed to be living life to the fullest. It didn't say that Christ came to give us life to the fullest when we were married, when we lost the weight, when our business took off. It said that he came to give us life to the fullest, period, right? That means whatever season you're in, you're supposed to be living your life to the fullest, to the best that you can. And I feel like a lot of times we put things on hold until we get to a season that's more favorable for us, that's more, that we feel is more beneficial to us. And so there are a lot of people that won't do stuff until they get married. They won't do stuff until they start having kids. They won't do stuff until they lose weight. I was like that. There were things that I wouldn't do until I lost weight. There, things that people won't do until, they have the business, or until they have, X, Y, Z, this and that. Like, they're just putting their life on hold, and they're not living life to the fullest because they feel that they need to be in a certain season. The thing is that we live our life in seasons. And so one day you might be here and the next year up here, right? One day you might be up here and then the next year down here. So you never know. Life is full of unexpected surprises, whether they're good or bad. But in all, in everything, in every day, we should be living life to the fullest. And you should never be ashamed of the season that you're in. Sometimes we just have to go through things, right? Sometimes we do. It's the way that God's build character in us. It's the way that he builds our faith and our trust in him. And so sometimes we just have to go through things. But sometimes in those seasons, we feel shame. Like if you're the only one in your group of girlfriends that's not married, or that's not even in a relationship, you might feel shame from that. Or if you're the only one out of your siblings that doesn't have any children right now, you might feel shame from that. Or maybe your peers, they have businesses and careers that's taken off, and maybe you're still in school, or maybe you're just going back to school, and you might find shame in that. But I want to tell you, please do not be ashamed of the season you're in, because there's purpose in the season you're in. And so in order for me to dive deeper into this, I have to be transparent, and I have to kind of tell the season that me and my family are in that I did not want to talk about. But God was like, okay, this is what this channel is for, and this is what you need to do. So as it stands right now, financially, me and my family are not in the best Okay, we're not in the best of places financially. We are on government assistance, all right? I got the EBT, I got the WIC, okay? We got the Medicaid, all right? We are on government assistance. And I carried for so long so much shame with that. Because y'all, when I was in the grocery store, and honestly, I'm not gonna lie, I still struggle with it because I still do it. When I pay for my groceries, I take out that EBT card, I swipe it real quick, and I put it right back in my purse for anybody to see how I paid for the groceries. Like, the shame is just there, honey. It's just written all over my face. Yeah, I want to let you know that if you're struggling with that, whatever season it may not be financial like me, but if whatever it is, you're not alone. And I want to encourage you to not be ashamed, because there's purpose. There's a reason why we're here. And a lot of times when people give testimonies about what God has done, it's basically what he has done. So I once was here, but now I'm here. And we can all rejoice for that, because I love hearing testimonies. I love hearing those stories. Like, they excite me, they encourage me and inspire me, and they motivate me and push me to continue on in my walk with Christ. But rarely do we see people that come and that sit and that talk about when they're in the midst of it, right? And they're still dealing with it, and they're waiting for God, and they're believing God, because there's some things that God has spoken to me, spoken to my husband, our family, about where he's taking us, about what he's doing for us, and the season that he's bringing us in, but it has not manifested yet. And so to get on here and, tell you where we are, it's hard, because again, I still struggle with shame from it. I was one of those people that I never turned my nose up at people that were struggling, but I did turn my nose up at the idea of me struggling. And so I would be like, I would never be on food stamps. I'd never be on government assistance. Like, that was my mindset, honestly. And this has been a real humbling experience. It has been a real humbling experience, because now I'm not just somebody that, can sympathize with somebody and I'm on the outside looking in, but I'm living this, and I see how it works, and I see how people treat you when you're on government assistance. I see how when you need help, for some reason, it seems like they get the nastiest people to work in these, that you need help, if you need aid, like, they're just, the attitudes are nasty, and it's like people are already going through a hard enough time. You should be trying to make this process a lot easier. There's a lot of stereotypes that are attached to food stamps. And another reason why I had shame, because hey, I'm a Black woman in America, and honestly, when you on social media, people will just throw that around like immediately. A Black woman she's on food stamps, I bet she's on food stamps, like, you see so much hatred. There's already so much hatred for Black women, but you see so much hatred for people that need government assistance. They're looked down on. People literally get upset if you're using government assistance. Like, they get angry. And so there's so much that's attached to being on government assistance. And I was like, y'all, the shame was there. We also stay in income restricted apartments. And so income restricted apartments is basically like apartments with the government, honestly. You can't make past a certain amount to live here. So they're at, reduced prices, and they're to help low income families, for you to find someplace affordable to stay. And honestly, the experience has been like, you get what you pay for. You get what you pay for. You're not getting top notch, honey. These aren't luxury apartments. They're not operated like luxury apartments. And, you'll be lucky if you get anything fixed over here. It's pretty much, you get what you pay for. But in all things, and in this season, while it has been a hard one, we have had to learn how to be grateful, because before we were here, and these apartments, they're very small, there's no storage whatsoever. Before we were here, we were living out of a bedroom in somebody's house. And so imagine that, we didn't have our own place. And so while this may be a very small place with no storage, and there are things that we have to deal with over here, we're still grateful to God that we have a roof over our head, that we have a warm bed to sleep in at night, that we have food. It may not be the way that we want to pay for food, but we have food. The biggest thing is that we're fed. And I know that this season is a season that we have to go through, and we had to go through, and we had to learn. And so, you know, I fought it for a while, but then I was like, you know what, if I'm here, I'm not putting my life on hold. I'm not going to, you know, stop living because I'm in a place that I don't want to be in. I'm going to be grateful for everything that I have. I'm going to continue to wake up and give thanks to God that I have, you know, breath in my lungs, that my babies woke up, my husband woke up, like that, you know, he has a job to go to. I'm going to continue doing this. And I know that this is just a season. It's not something that's going to last. And that's another thing. If you're in a hard season, we're not meant to just live life in hard seasons. You know, there's an expiration date on that season. You shouldn't be expected to stay in a certain place. Government assistance is for a season, and it should be for a season. It's not something that you should be on for the rest of your life. And I understand that there are cases where people have disabilities and they can't really work full-time jobs, and so that's a whole nother thing. But if you're able to work, if you're able to do better for yourself, you should not be on government assistance for the rest of your life. And if you're a person of faith, because this is a faith-based channel, if you're a person of faith, you should be believing God, okay, to take you out of that season. Like, you should be believing God that I'm not gonna stay here. Like, this is just, it's just a season. I'm not gonna stay here. When we first moved over here, my husband went because there's a laundry room. There's just literally one laundry room for the whole apartment complex, and it's in another building, so you gotta lug your stuff over there. But when he went to do laundry one day, there was a woman in there, and she was telling him which machine to use, which one not to use. And she was like, I've been here for 10 years, and these machines still don't work right. And so I don't know her story again. I don't know why she's here. But to me, and for me, 10 years is a long time, because in order to live here, you can't make past a certain amount. And so 10 years is a long time to be there. And I know everybody's expiration date for their seasons are different, but you should never get comfortable struggling. You should never get comfortable struggling. You should never get comfortable living in hard seasons. Like, no, there's purpose in it. You know, we learn from it, we grow from it, we mature from it, but we're not meant to stay there. And like I said, God has spoken some things to my family that I know that this is about to be, we're about to be done with this. Y'all, I cannot wait to go into a store and not break out the EBT. I don't want to be on government assistance. Like, I don't. And I'm grateful to God that they do have those things to help people. But I don't want to be there. Like, you know, you don't want to be there. You may not be, it may, like I said, your situation may not be financially. You may be like, okay, I'm grateful that, you know, I have this time to grow and to blossom as a woman, but I do want to be in a relationship. I do want to get married. I do want to have the family. I understand, because I've been there. Like I said, we live our life in seasons. So the season that I'm in may not be the season that you're in. You know, you might be thriving financially, but you might be waiting for the family. Right now, I'm going through financially, but I have the family. I have the husband that I prayed for. I have the baby. So, you know, we have to believe that it's not always going to last. You know, the waiting season is not always going to last. But while we wait on God to fulfill the promises that He's spoken to us, we need to be out there living, honey. We need to be out there living. And that is what this channel, that is why God wanted me to create this channel. One, to share my testimony with you. And I'm sharing a testimony as it's playing out, because I'm not on the other side. I'm not, you know, like, look what God has done. I'm more so, look what He's doing. So to show you that there are ways that you can just get the best, you know, get the most out of life. Like right now, and whatever season, if it's a hard season, continue. Don't put your life on hold because you don't have the things that you've been praying for. Live life to the fullest in the season that you are in. And your living life to the fullest may not look like the next person. Don't allow social media to dictate how living life to the fullest should look. Again, we have a lot of influencers, honey. They're taking trips to Cancun, and they're throwing these big, elaborate, like expensive birthday parties for their children who's turning 1 year old, who's not going to remember it, but that's okay. Like, that's, you know, they have the money to do it. They can do it. But don't allow that to dictate to you how living life to the fullest should look. Okay, you may not be able to go on a trip to Cancun. You might be able to just go on a road trip. But honey, Do it big. Do the road trip big. Make memories. It's all about making memories and enjoying your life, not comparing your life or not competing with somebody else. Like, no, live life to the fullest in whatever season, and don't be ashamed of that season. If if you're not married and you desire to be married and everybody around you looks like they're getting married, that doesn't mean something's wrong with you. That just means that your time hasn't come. I will be the first to tell you, as a married woman and as a mother, cherish that time that you have when you're not married, when you don't have the children. Cherish that. There's so many things that you can do, and your life just looks completely different after marriage, after children. It's beautiful. It's awesome. I love it. I wouldn't trade it for the world. But I know that there were certain times in my season of being unmarried and without children that I didn't take advantage of certain things, that if I could go back, I would take advantage of that then. Travel more, get out more, learn more, experience more. Don't have to put your life on hold because you don't have the husband, you don't have the kids. I'm on a weight loss journey right now, y'all. I put on a lot of weight with the first child, with the second child, a lot of weight. And I'm going to tell you, for the longest, I put my life on hold. There are things that I wouldn't do because of the weight, and I just got tired of that. And so I'm the biggest that I've been, but yet I feel like I'm the most confident that I've been in the longest time. And I'm working on losing the weight because I need to lose the weight, for health reasons, really. But while I'm here, I'm still going to show up. I'm still going to dress up. I'm still going to put my makeup on, and I'm still going to go out. Like, I'm not putting my life on hold because I'm not the size that I used to be or the size that I'm aiming for now. Don't do that. Do not do that. Wear the dress, wear the clothes, look good now. Love your body now. I just want to encourage you, please, in whatever season that you're in right now, if it's a hard season, a season that you'd rather not be in, don't be ashamed of that season. Do not be ashamed of that season, because it's a part of your testimony, and God is going to use that to help somebody else. And you're going to be able to say, look, I was there, but I came out of it. God brought me out of it. And if he did it for me, he can do it for you. And if he's doing it for me now and my family now, he's going to do it for you. You just have to believe that. There is nothing, and I feel like, especially in America, like, people look down on people that need help. There's nothing wrong with needing help. There's nothing wrong with needing a time where you need a little extra help to pay for stuff, to get back on your feet. There's nothing wrong with that. You should not feel ashamed for that. It's just a season. It's not your life. It's not who you are. It's just a season. When you learn who you are, your identity, who God has created you to be, then it doesn't surround those things of, oh man, I don't have this, or I don't have that, or, it's not, your identity isn't locked up in those things. And so you feel less shame about the seasons you go through, because you're like, that's not me. God says this about me. Even though I'm in this season, I'm not going to be here forever. I'm coming out. And that's the thing that I struggled with, and I still do, because I'm not perfect. I still do, because when I was like, oh, I'm gonna put this video out and talk about me being on government assistance, my family and all that, what if somebody I know watches this video? What if they come across this video? What if they see this video and they know this about me? So what? So what? It's a part of my testimony, and I'm telling you, God is doing some amazing things, and I'm putting this video out now as an act of faith, really, that God's going to do what he said he's going to do. And so I can share, and you can see, and you can watch my journey of how God did what he did what he said he was going to do, and how he was faithful. We're not going to be in the small apartment forever. We can't be. The kids are growing. We can't be. We're not going to be on government assistance forever. Like, this is not going to be the season forever. But while it is the season right now, we are still going to live life to the fullest. And while you're in the season, whatever season you're in right now, I pray that you do the same. Live your life to the fullest. Do not put it on hold. Do not put it on hold. Every season you go through, you live, you thrive. You do the best that you can. And you believe God that when he says he's going to fulfill those promises in your life, you believe him and you expect him to do that. I pray that this video encouraged somebody. I pray that it inspired you. I pray that it motivated you, and I pray that you really deal with that shame, because that's really a tied to identity. When we deal with issues in our identity, that shame is really tied to that. And I pray that, you deal with that. Remember, live your life to the fullest in whatever season you're in. On this channel, I'm going to be producing that content that's going to help you do that. That's going to be giving ideas and different things like that. So I really pray that if you haven't, that you'll go ahead and subscribe so you can follow my journey. And don't forget to like the video, comment. Let me know if you're going through a hard season that you're dealing with shame from, or maybe you've overcome a season that you did have shame attached to it. I would love to read that. I would love to read how you overcame it, or I'd love to read if you are going through it, and so maybe I can pray concerning your situation. But yeah, let me know down below, and I will see you guys in the next video. Bye.